Alright guys, what do you do with an old Chinese scooter that won't stay together? Well, guys gotta do something with it. I mean, my father-in-law paid like $1,500 for this thing. Got 2,000 miles on it. And the body is gone. It's just gone. It's terrible. It is terrible. Every single thing with a screw, a clip, or a bolt in it has broken. So, what's the guy to do, right? I mean, it's a motorcycle engine. It's a whole drivetrain. Got forks. Well, maybe this. So this is what I've done with it. I've cut the frame off. Well, I actually built this frame inside of it before I cut the frame off. So it's still square, still straight. I tightened everything up around the motor. But basically, it's a little mini chopper now. Have to get a tank and a carburetor and stuff like that, and a whole bucket of stuff over here. And today, I'm thinking of checking to make sure it still had spark. So we need this guy. Oh my. What a guy. Okay. Obviously we don't need all of that, do we? We just need that. Right there. I don't know what all that is. So, let's see if I can get the camera set up and start going through the harness to get what we need to run. And then once I have that, we'll check her for spark. Okay. Well, what do we got here? We got the positive battery cable. Okay, so we know we need that. Here's the Chinese ignition module, CDI box. Power to the switch, I'm sure. And we got these guys. Got the power. And looks like a signal. Green and yellow. White and red. And then this one is the coil. And the coil. Someone shorted the coil out. Jesus. That's probably the problem right there. I'll bet that CDI box is junk. Put it back here. Yeah, this wire's been way too hot. Look at that. I wonder if there's even wire left in there. So that's got to be rewired. I'm not going to get spark with that. And the coil was missing. The coil was missing and the carburetor was gutted. I have the carburetor. What did I do with this? Where is my little carburetor gone? Either way, no big deal. Anyways, some of these wires go straight to the chassis. So, let's see what we can dig up here. Alright. There's some hackery right there, and I know I didn't do that. Focus. Focus. Is this still dummy? Yeah, see, there's some hackery. pretty sure these three are crank, trigger, and so these three go to the CDI box. These are crank trigger. One of these is power, the other one is output to the coil. I believe it's the red and white one. These wires connect to those wires there. Starter solenoid. Oh, that's pretty self-explanatory. That's already wired up. Put positive 12 volts there. That's good to go. So let's start laying stuff out. See, on these Chinese scooters, the whole rear suspension is the engine. And I built the frame off this one piece. This is an original piece of the frame. And this is an original piece of the frame. And then the rest of this is all whatever weird crap came out of my brain. So, let's see here. Take these guys. Good Lord. Look at that clump of mess. Alright, take these guys and string them up here. So, looks like and see, this was the big deal. These were siliconed in because I couldn't get the proper plug. And my father-in-law's brother, him being the farmer that he is, decided that was not good enough. And in taking the silicone out of the plug, he took the wires off of the plug. I can't get the fat finger out of the way. Trying to push all those back in there. You might be able to see some of the silicone still down in the bottom of there. But if he'd have just left it alone, I'd never had any troubles. See, this wire here, this green one, puts out up to 50 volts. This one here is a solid state ground. So, capacitive discharge ignition. This thing has a capacitor that the crank sensor inside of here charges. Once it reaches enough voltage, sends a wire, or sends voltage out this wire, fires the ignition coil, and the bike runs. These other two wires here, whoa, this is really hard. Okay, this one here is crank trigger. This one here is crank trigger with black and yellow. It's ground. See? Black and yellow ground. Black and yellow ground. China, man. In Japan, that's a power wire. Taiwan, Vietnam, North America, Australia, Europe, power wire. Green would be a ground, a signal ground. But yellow and red always mean electricity. And you come over here to this wire, it's electricity. I think that's for the voltage regulator. So anyways, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so split the harness open. to find out that this is the fuel gauge wire. Still have not found the guy for this. I'm worried it could be the voltage regulator. So I took the harness apart, and turns out green is the ground, it's not a power. So yellow is power, green is ground on this bike. So that's good to know. But it comes all the way up here. So, let's see. We have two grounds, a yellow, light blue, and an orange. Come up here. I have a light blue. I thought I saw light blue in there. There it is, way down in the bottom. There's our light blue. And he's still coming. And the light blue goes here. No other light blue. We got some gray. Oh, here's some more light blue. Goes to that guy. That's a light wire. So, I think this is the voltage regulator. Yellow, red, and white. Yellow. White. Green. There's the red and white. What do you know? Red and white goes up to the alternator. Cool. So, looks like we have a lighting problem, which is good because whoever's been working on this thing didn't know anything about it, nor would they do that to find out. So it looks like we have all our powers and grounds located, so I'm gonna hook them up and then we'll come back. This is frustrating. So I wound up having to chase the whole harness. I had to look up the wiring diagram for a CDI box I bought off eBay 4 years ago, back in the eBay boom. And yeah, look at that thing. It's a mess, man. Look at that. It's terrible. All that stuff. So I had a power issue through a security box. Why you'd put one of those on a Chinese scooter, I don't know. But I guess if you live in the city. This thing definitely wasn't built for the middle of nowhere. So, had some power issues to deal with. Took care of that. There was a bad fuse. Just a bunch of little stuff. But turn everything on, get it set up. I think we have spark. I have to buy a coil. I thought I had a spare coil for my Barracuda or my truck around here, but I don't. So I have to buy a coil. And I don't know. I have a little 40cc carburetor that'll idle this thing, and it'd be enough for as light as it is. So we may even try to start it. I don't know. I gotta buy a new coil. So, but let me switch everything around and I'll show you this. Alright, so the hackery continues. And so I don't know if I showed this very well the first time I picked it up, but this is how I had it wired originally. I think these wires being all messed up was the big problem. But if I hook our power up here, have some power now. Now, you see, if you can see the clock right here. Yeah, clock's on. So, crank. And if we look at the CDI box, so I think we're good to go, because obviously it's charging. And yeah, so I'm gonna order a coil and another CDI box because they come in a pair, and just in case that one is bad, but I doubt it. It's only putting out, I think, a 1/6 of a volt, 0.6 of a volt, and it should produce, I think, a 1/2 volt to 57 volts. So I don't know. I know a 9-volt coil has to have 6 as a minimum, so we'll see. But it's worth finishing. So now it's gonna need a tank, and I gotta get all this stuff sorted, what I want to run, what I don't want to run, and get it tucked up, buttoned up, and ready to rock. I'm gonna take this old tail pan, mount it up here between those guys. Some foot pegs will hang off of here, and a little battery will fit right here. And pegs for the life. And then after that, I got a tank I gotta order from Amazon. It's $160. It's the 3-gallon tank to replace this 1.5-gallon tank. This thing only did about 35-40 miles a gallon, so I'm sure I could ride it a while if I wanted it to. But I have to compress the springs and cut them, because right now me and Lexi can jump on the tail and it's too much spring. Oh look, someone came in and ran away. So I don't want to move them forward, because this is left a 1/2 inch this way, and right here they work the best, but it rubs the tires, so I think it rubs the tire on that side. Makes the whole thing look crooked. It ain't right. So they're straight there. That was the original location. It is what it is. This frame is a good 100 pounds lighter than it used to be. So that's that. She's gonna run. I don't know how cool it's gonna be. It's pretty junk, pretty choppy, but it looks like fun.